guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my Summerween reading vlog. Happy Summerween. If you guys don't know what Summerween is, it's basically this concept created in an episode of Gravity Falls where the characters celebrate Halloween in the middle of June. It's basically a slasher summer sort of vibe and you're basically celebrating Halloween in summer. And so I thought it would be fun if we spent some time together and read some like Summerween type of books. So this is more just like a horror reading vlog, less of like a slasher summer. There are a couple books that I don't own that I would really like to read this Summerween or maybe next, I don't know yet, but it's these two. I really am so intrigued by these and I really want to read them eventually, but I want to stick to my physical TBR because as we know, I'm trying to get this insanity down, away, gone, read. So I have quite some books to choose from. So first I just want to kind of go through all of the books that are on my like Summerween TBR. So first we have How to Sell a Haunted House by Greedy Hendrix. I don't know if this would be better for October, but it just feels like the perfect like Summerween vibe. I just feel like it's gonna be a really scary haunted house sort of book. And then I have, actually I think all the rest of them are Stephen King books. Yeah, literally they're all Stephen King books. So first we have Everything's Eventual. These are 14 of his scary short stories. And then I have Cujo. I have a little short one. It's like really short, like I don't even think it's like just over 200 pages. We have Apt People. Don't really know what this is about. I just know it's like there's an evilness to this. Don't really know much else. And then we have Carrie, iconic book, which is also really short. And then I have The Institute, which I don't know how like actually scary this is. I just have it on my TBR and I think it gives like Stranger Things vibes. And then again, I think this is more thriller. I don't know how horror this is, but I have Billy Summers as well. So we have a lot of books to choose from, and the first book that we're gonna read, I actually have already like decided. I've already started it, and that is going to be The Stand by Stephen King. So I know this book is not on my physical TBR, but this is the one exception because it is me and my mom's book club book of June and it is horror, so I just feel like it's gonna be perfect because I have to read it anyways for my book club, so why not read it in this video? And so like I said, I've already started it, and the clips that I have in the beginning, I was originally filming a Can I Read Stephen King's Longest Book in 1 week. So if I'm talking about a challenge and stuff like that in the beginning of this video, when you're seeing me talk about The Stand, that's why, because I was doing a challenge, but then I realized that that was insane for me to do because this book is 1,200 pages. So with that being said, let's get started on our Summerween reading. Every time I read a Stephen King book, I'm always like, okay, I need to read all of his books. Like, I love his writing so much. It's literally unmatched. Like, no one writes the way that Stephen King does. He has such a unique voice, and it's like so similar throughout all of his books, even though his books are so different. I love his books so much. And I feel like I'm finally at the point in this book where I can like tell you kind of what's going on, because I'm going into this book pretty blindly. I saw someone talking about this book, like I said, on TikTok, and all I kind of know is that there's this illness and then there's like a post-apocalyptic kind of world after the sickness, I think. I don't even know yet, but so far we're still in the beginning stages of this where we're meeting all of the characters and we're seeing the very beginning of this illness that's spreading so quickly. And we see at the very beginning of this book there's a family of 3 and they leave the base that they're at and they end up crashing into this station where these other characters are at, and they're all basically dead. 2 of them are dead and the guy is still alive for a short period of time, but they all have this illness and then they spread it to the people at the station, and then it gets spread to other people, and then it's just like an ongoing cycle of like this spreading of this disease. And it's just so crazy to see how quickly it's all spreading. And literally as soon as he writes that someone is sneezing or coughing or has a little tickle in the back of their throat, they're basically like done for. Like you can basically count on them to die within the next couple days probably. So like I said, we're still in the very early stages of this sickness, but also like meeting all the characters, and I it's hard to tell who's gonna be like a main character or who is just someone that Stephen King's mentioning, because sometimes he just does that. He'll just like go through a giant list of people in the town who don't really play a role, but they're like there, so he talks about them. So I know that there's Franny, there's Larry, I mean, we just met someone named Nick. Like, I literally just read his chapter, and so I'm thinking he is gonna play a bigger role, but I don't know yet. We're just here and we're vibing. But it is 9:03 p.m. on day 2, and we're only 84 pages into the book. So I'm gonna sit here. I have some ice cream, and I'm just gonna sit here, eat some ice cream. I want to read at least a couple more chapters. I would really like to get to 10% through this book. I'm at 8% right now because the percentage is so slow to move up. It's so defeating. Like, it feels so defeating watching the percentage just not go up. After like reading for like 30 minutes, the percentage will not have moved one number, and it's just like, oh my god, why am I doing this again? But like, the book is so good already. It's just the fact that I don't know, it's hard as a reader to not see the percentage number going up. So I'm gonna try to get to 10% in this tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna have to read so much. That will be tomorrow's problem, but for now I'm just gonna sit down. I don't know if you can tell from the look on my face, I've not had the best day, so we're just gonna eat some ice cream, read a couple more chapters, and call it a night. This book is getting so good, and still we're just learning stuff still, I feel like, and we're kind of starting to see the main characters who aren't getting sick from this illness, whatever, while everyone else around them is dying, which is really crazy. And I think my favorite character right now is probably Nick. He's blind and no, he's deaf and mute. Like, he's just a really cool character, and I really like seeing that aspect of this book too. But I'm on chapter 20. Like I said, I'm 15% in, and this says that I have 38 hours and 44 minutes left in the book. But I'm about to crack open this bag of chips. My sister came home yesterday with those flowers for me and 2 bags of these and a carton of ice cream, the ice cream that I was eating last night. These are so freaking good. I love these chips so much. My family and I had just watched The Silence of the Lambs, and I had never seen it before. I didn't even know what it was about, and Stranger Things scared me. Vecna gave me nightmares. Now I'm gonna be up all night. Like, actually, it freaked me out so badly that I was scared to go to the bathroom in my own house. Like, I'm freaked out now, which is good for this video, bad for up here, and bad for all the things that I need to get done tomorrow, that I need to wake up early for. But it's great for the fact that we need to read a book, because I'm 17% through this book. I'm on page 188 of 1177, and that is the Kindle version that says that it's 1177 pages. So I have like just under 1,000 pages left, I think. The math will be here. I'm just so freaked out. And I had actually bought this candy to watch the movie. No, it just wasn't the vibe. Like, actually, I was so scared. Actually, I wasn't even that like freaked out during most of the movie until like kind of like the end. And then as soon as the movie ended, now I'm like scared of the dark and stuff. Like, I will probably sleep with my lights on tonight. Like, guys, this is bad. This is why I can't watch scary movies. And here I am like reading this book by Stephen King, but it's not like this one isn't horror. I don't think this one's horror. I think it's just like creepy, eerie, post-apocalyptic world sort of vibe. So I'm gonna open up this candy now because I bought it to eat it. So that's what I'm gonna do. And we're gonna read as much as I can. Like, why do I do this to myself? I don't know. It was like an okay movie too. It wasn't even like all that phenomenal. Like, I'm glad I watched it though, because it's like iconic, but now I'm freaked out. It's so funny, every once in a while there will be a little picture thrown in, and I'm just like so curious how these look in like the physical book, because they just look so silly just thrown in here, because it's usually also just like a few pages behind when it actually like pops up. So I'm just so curious like how it actually fits into the physical copy. But some of them are like creepy. Like I did not need an actual visual. Like please, I'm visualizing it perfectly well in my head. Like okay, so I can't remember the last thing I talked to you guys about, but it's been a while. Even though I'm now 32% in, and I think the last time we talked, I don't know, maybe I was like 20% in. So that doesn't seem like a lot, but really, like, I'm 32% into this book and I'm on page 370. Like, that's just, this book is so long, it's crazy. So we're now at the point where so many people have died because of this flu. Like, I think it's like 99% of people. I can't remember the exact percentage, but it took out most people. And so we just keep switching between different point of views of the people who are still alive that we saw even before the flu started. And so there's like a small handful of characters that we're switching between. And then every once in a while we'll get a point of view from a new character, and then they end up like dying like in the same chapter. It's just so crazy. But we're just seeing how they're all like dealing with it, and some of them are finding other people, some of them are still by themselves. I think what gets me most about this book is that it could be so real. Like this could totally happen. Like as outlandish as it seems for a super flu to like wipe out most of the population, and then it being like this a post-apocalyptic sort of world, it's so realistic. Like that's so something that could happen. Like we're not talking about zombies here, we're talking about just this flu that wipes out half the population, and then it's just people surviving from there. It's not like a Walking Dead situation. This is like they just die. What's really interesting, I think it was the chapter before this or maybe 2 chapters ago, he wrote a whole chapter saying that after that epidemic took out so many people, there was another epidemic that happened, and I was like, wow, like what could that mean? And it was just people dying from not the flu, but people who survived the flu then just dying for other reasons. And it just followed point of views for like little sections, like all in the same chapter, just like little sections of you get to know a character real quick and then they die, and just like for random things, like even like children too. It's just so his writing, I don't know, it just like it feels so real. His writing feels so real, and some of it is just so disturbing at times, and it's just so crazy. But like this world that he's creating right now, it's so like just disturbing and eerie, and also because of the fact that it could so be realistic. It's just so freaking creepy to read about. But also, like I was talking to my mom, because I can't remember if I mentioned this, but she's reading it at the same time. That's why I'm reading this book, because it's our book club book for June. And like she's read it before. She read it like years ago, and she's watched this show or movie or whatever it is. And I was like telling her, I was like, I feel like I keep waiting for the pace to pick up and for like something major to happen, and then like we're like then in like a fast-paced kind of story, because it's been really slow so far. I feel like we're mainly just like in these characters' point of views, and just like we learned about all the characters, now we're just following them continuously throughout the flu and everything they're dealing with. But I was like, I don't see that how I think this is just a slow story. And she's like, yeah, like nothing, like I don't know, she just kind of confirmed that this is just a slow sort of book, especially because also it's so long. Like I can't be expecting like exciting things to be happening constantly. I just have to like go for the ride, and I'm really enjoying, like I'm saying all this, but I am really enjoying this book. I think that I don't know, I love Stephen King and his writing so much. He popped up on my For You page yesterday. Oh, he's so adorable, and like he's like old and he's like so sweet, and it was just a video of him talking, and it was just like Okay, it has been a bit since I have updated you guys. I am now on page 943, and I'm 81% through this book. So throughout this book, like since the very beginning, our main characters, they've been having these nightmares or these just dreams in general. They've been dreaming of both this man that they call the Dark Man. His name is Randall Flagg, and he's like the evil presence amongst this book, and he is what they're all dreaming of. They all have nightmares of him. Every single one of these characters, they all have nightmares of him. And then they have good dreams as well of this lady named Mother Abigail. She's 108 years old, and she's basically the good, so it's kind of like a good versus evil sort of thing. But they all have these dreams and they know exactly where to find her. And so basically most of our main characters, actually all of them really, they all end up in the same place. They all end up in Mother Abigail's area. They all end up in Boulder together. They have like this small town going on. They end up having like 800 people there, and they're just kind of surviving. They form like a government sort of thing. They have like a committee, and they're just trying to figure out how to survive, and like because they know that eventually they're gonna have to face this evil guy, and he's also forming his group on his own. And we don't really see much of that. We saw a little bit of it because one of the characters that we had been following ends up joining him, so we saw it for like a little bit, but we don't really see much of that. We just like feel the darkness like constantly. Ugh. But then, well, I don't know how much I can actually say without like spoiling anything, but there is like hints of evil within the good group too. I don't want to say anything that will spoil anything, but I feel like it picked up a lot, the pace and everything, once we're now seeing them in this new community and we're seeing the little hints of evil within good group and everything that's happening with them. But now we're at the point where we have 4 characters who are now heading west to where the Dark Man and his group are, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm a little nervous because also there's like romances, like subplots of romance that build. You end up really loving the characters. Like I'm like stressed for the characters because I don't know what's gonna freaking happen. I'm like so nervous. I'm just nervous. And also like they had decided to send a few people to the west as spies to kind of like figure out what all is going on there, and then they would report back, but they haven't come back yet. And I'm nervous about one of the characters because I really like that character that went up to spy, and they haven't come back yet. So I'm just like, I'm feeling anxious now because like I said, I'm on page 943, so this book is like nearing the end almost. I'm on chapter 61 out of I think 78 chapters, so like I am nearing the end a little bit, and one character has already met their end, and that was really hard. So I'm just like scared. I'm scared because I don't know what's gonna happen, and like I just can't imagine anything good happening. But it's really interesting because it's definitely like this good versus evil theme throughout the whole book, but there's also like a very strong like religious aspect of it, and like a lot of the characters aren't necessarily believing that way, but like it's definitely like a huge presence, which is really interesting. I don't know, like I feel like a lot of what's happening is like because it's God's plan or whatever, so I don't know, it's just interesting. I feel like that's not usually like brought up in books like this where everything's happening because it's like God's plan or like God's showing everyone what to do. So I'm gonna try to finish this today. We're gonna see if that's possible. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I finally see hope that this book is going to end at some point, so. So I have finished The Stand, and honestly, like I would really recommend this book, especially if you like a post-apocalyptic world, if you find the whole concept interesting of like survival, and especially after something like a flu that wipes out 99% of the population. I feel like this was just such an interesting concept, and we really saw like the battle between like humanity and society, the good versus the evil, and all these people who are just trying to rebuild the world after it's become like nothing. Like they're trying to build it from nothing again. They're just real people. They feel so real, and I really love these characters, and being able to spend 1,200 pages with these characters was great. And then like once they all eventually like wound up together, it was really cool cool because in the beginning, for most of the book, I would say like maybe 50% of the book, we would just like switch between point of views, and that's what we did like further on. But like once they all got together, we were then starting to see them all together in each other's point of views, if that makes sense. We got to see more of each character, but it was like heartbreaking. I literally got so emotional towards the end. I'm not gonna say anymore, I don't want to spoil anything. I just wonder what it would be like to read this book like in 2020 when COVID was happening. I feel like that would send me into like a full-blown like panic attack, like actually like sick, because that would just be insane. Because like essentially, like if COVID were to have gone that route, like that's exactly, I don't know, it just like it felt so realistic. Like we literally could have had that, and this was written like way before COVID. I forget the year it was written in. It's just so insane. But I just had so much fun with this book, and I would recommend, and if you are gonna read it, make sure you read the uncut version, because his original version of The Stand that was published was like 600 or 700 pages, but then the full like uncut version is 1200, so he had to cut out so much of it. Actually, maybe it was like 800 pages, I don't know, but he had cut out like 400 pages of book before, because he said something like there was like an author's note at the beginning of the book saying that like the accounting team didn't think that a whole book like that could sell or something like that, so he ended up having to cut out like a lot of crucial things. And so I would just recommend the uncut version, obviously. Anyways, I'm gonna stop ranting about this book. I ended up rating it 4.25 stars, maybe 4, I don't know. I'll have my official rating here, but I really enjoyed it. And now it is time to move on to our next book for this SUMMERWEEN reading vlog. So I have some to choose from, but I kind of already know the book that I want to read. Like I showed you all the books at the beginning of this video. I don't want another long book. I don't want to read another long book for a very long time, if ever again. I like short books. I think that a lot of stories don't need to be told in a long time, in a lot of pages, and this one definitely did. It definitely needed the 1200 pages, but I don't want to read another long book. So we are gonna go with Carrie by Stephen King. This made me want to read so much more horror and a lot more of his books. I read like 8 of his books, but now I want to read all of them. And as you guys know, I have 4 others on my physical TBR here, so we're gonna read this one, and it's like just over 300 pages, but the font is pretty big, so I don't think this one's gonna take me too long at all. And I'm really fascinated by this one. I feel like this is one of his more popular books, and I haven't watched the show or movie or whatever adaptation it is. I don't really know much about this. I know the actress who plays Carrie in the adaptation, and I love her, but I don't know anything about this. And I've heard that it's good for SUMMERWEEN. I think I saw some people's like SUMMERWEEN book recommendations, and this one popped up in a couple of them, so I'm really excited to start this one. I'm gonna make some coffee, and then we're gonna start our next book. Holy crap! So in this book we are following a 16-year-old named Carrie, and at the very beginning of the book she has her period in the girls' locker room in gym, and the other girls do not treat it kindly. She gets bullied anyways, but obviously this, like Carrie not knowing what a period was at the age of 16 and her getting her first period in a locker room, she's bleeding everywhere and she doesn't know what to do. She thinks she's dying. She thinks she's bleeding to death because she doesn't know what a period is. All the other girls in the locker room bullying her. Even the gym teacher wasn't too kind about it until she understood that Carrie had no idea what was happening to her. And Carrie has a special gift that we haven't seen too much of. We're still kind of learning about this gift that she has, because she can move things with her mind. Like, it's giving 11. Like, she can move things with her mind. She has telekinesis, and so we're seeing like little glimpses throughout some things that she's gone through in her life when the telekinesis was like happening, when she was able to do it, but she's still kind of like, it seems like she's still figuring it out herself. Like she doesn't really know much about it either, but she like understands that sometimes when she thinks a certain way or thinks of something happening, she can make it happen. So I feel like we're kind of like learning it a little bit with her, but her mom is like a very, very religious person. Like not even just like super religious, but just insane. Like she's really like a horrible mother. When Carrie went home to her mom and told her that she got her period, her mom said that she was sinning and that's why she got it. And it's just really crazy. And so just seeing everything with her mom is really crazy, and I feel so bad for her. Like I feel so bad every time there's a scene described with her mom, and the fact that she feels like everything is kind of her fault a little bit, and she just doesn't have someone at home to talk to. And I don't know, just the fact that she didn't know what a period was at 16, that just makes me so sad just itself. But I kind of don't really know where we're going. We keep kind of referring to this like future event that's gonna happen, because we get like little, like, it's almost like articles a little bit, like we get like headlines from articles. Let me try to find one so I can show you. Here's an example. It's like, it says like from telekinesis analysis and aftermath. That's more like it's just like it's talking about telekinesis, but there's more like article type things. Excuse me, give me a minute. Okay, yeah, so here we have one here, and it's just like a little like title, and then it kind of goes into like a future story about like the events that happen. Like this one specifically talking a little bit about the whole like menstruation sort of situation that happened in the locker room, and then it kind of hints at a little bit like this like future thing that's going to happen. And the only thing that I know about Carrie, because I saw like one clip a long time ago on like TikTok or something of a scene that happens at prom, I'm pretty sure, with blood. And so I'm just like, I think that we're hinting at that a little bit, but really like I don't know where we're going. I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm just here for the ride. And I'm like not necessarily loving this book. I feel like, also just realized yesterday that this is his first book ever, so it's just really cool to be reading his first book. I didn't even realize this was his first book, but I feel like his storytelling abilities are definitely there, but they're not like fully developed yet. Plus this is a short book, and I feel like he just does better with like longer books, or at least that's just how I feel based off of this one. And I'm literally only 82 pages in, so we'll see how I feel once we get further. But I just wanted to update you guys, and I'm gonna keep reading, maybe try to finish this. I don't know, I'm gonna try to read as much as I can today, and then we'll probably finish it tomorrow. Okay, literally just gained so much respect for this side character. The build up to what's about to happen has just been so insane, and I'm so anxious for what's about to happen, because like I said, like we were kind of hinting at this big thing that was gonna happen, and the big thing is basically like a humiliation ritual for Carrie. And I just, I feel so bad, and like I don't like reading about this. Like this isn't a bad book whatsoever, it's just like this isn't something I want to be reading about. I don't want to be reading about this girl who did nothing wrong getting bullied by everyone she goes to school with. Like it's like breaking my heart, and like knowing that something bad is about to happen, that these kids plotted against her. It's just like, it's hurting me, and I'm scared to continue. I have like 100 pages left, and like the bad thing is literally right about to happen. We're at the prom night and it's literally about to happen. Like I'm scared. I don't want this. I don't want it. Like I don't want it. I don't want it. I have finished Carrie by Stephen King. I'm rating this 3 stars, which sounds really harsh, and honestly I love Stephen King. As you guys know, his books are so good. His storytelling is like no other, but personally this book is just not something that I like to read about. It dealt heavily with bullying and basically the downfall of this girl, innocent girl Carrie, because of the bullying that she has gone through, and it all kind of this whole story kind of builds up to this one big night, which is prom night, when a few students take a part in doing this like really big, like the kind of like final act towards Carrie as like a big bullying sort of thing, and then she then uses her telekinesis to get revenge on everyone. And it's just really sad and low-key tragic. Like, this was my GoodReads review for it. It's just really sad and not something that I like to read about, and honestly it's low-key triggering to read about a girl being bullied for no freaking reason, and her mom's extremely abusive. And I know I mentioned that she's really religious, and it's like she uses her religion in like an abusive way towards Carrie. Like, obviously there's nothing wrong with being religious, it's just the fact that she uses it in an abusive way, and she is abusive physically and verbally. So I don't know, it was just like all around hard to read about, but I love his storytelling. Crazy debut story. I really want to watch this movie now, and I didn't realize that there's 3 versions of it. There's 3 movies based off of this book, so I'll probably watch the first one because it has the best reviews, and the newest one because it has the actress that I really like. So since we read 2 Stephen King books in this video, and this whole thing is about horror and Summerween, I thought it would be fun if I did a ranking of all of his books that I've read. So I'm gonna go from like my least favorite to my favorite. I've read like 9 of his books, so at the very bottom we do have Carrie. You guys, I just talked about it, you guys know how I feel. And then I have Thinner. Honestly, I really enjoyed this book. When I read it, I kind of flew through it, and I don't know if you can tell, it was well loved. I abused this book, but I read it when I was like 16, I think, maybe a little younger, so my memory of it is very foggy, and so I don't necessarily know where it would fall now if I read it, and like rating wise, plus the other books on here are like definitely a lot better. And then I have Pet Sematary, which I read in October, I think, and this one was really good and honestly really scary. I think that it's definitely one of his best like horror books that I've read. It's just like the turn that it went very like disturbing a little bit, and just like the concept of what happened to one of the children in this book just really disturbed me, and it just got disturbing. That's all I'm gonna say. But I really did have a good time with this. It just, like I said, it got disturbing. And then this is like difficult, but I think then I'm gonna put The Stand next, which his books are so hard to rank because genuinely I love them all so much, especially now we're getting into my top books. It's so freaking hard to rank them because I genuinely think that they are all so good and like close to perfect, if not perfect. So I think I'm gonna put The Stand, just because even though I really love these characters, I just feel like he has better. I don't know, this is so hard because I really enjoy this, but I just feel like he has better books. But next I have Salem's Lot. Love this book. It is the coziest book of his. I feel like it's the perfect vampire story and scared me really bad. If you want to read about vampires, I feel like this is the best book to go to. And then we have Misery. I could definitely see myself rereading this at some point. This one, it's less like scary and it's more like psychologically scary, and like literally now, like the next few that I name, including this one, all 5 stars. Okay, my top 2 are like some of my favorite books of all time, and I know this next one is gonna be surprising that it's 2 and not 1, but I have 11/22/63. Oh, literally one of my favorite books ever, and I love these characters. The 2 main characters in this book, and the romance is like one of my favorite romances ever, and it's literally a subplot in this book. I think that this story concept is so unique. Oh, so good. But then lastly, I have The Shining, my #1 favorite book. I've read this at least 3 times, and I love this book. So I think it's so good. And if you listen to like the soundtrack for the movie while you're reading this, oh my gosh, it's like genuinely like the best experience ever. This one is definitely his scariest book in my opinion. I think it is so freaking scary, and I would definitely recommend this for like Halloween time or Summerween. Literally, this is just like a really good horror book that I would really recommend. It does take place during the winter mostly, so maybe read it then, but oh, this is so good. And then honorable mention, I have an honorable mention. We have It, this big fat brick of a book. And the reason why it's an honorable mention and I'm not actually ranking it is because I never actually finished this. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a fat line down the spine because I cracked it open and I only ever got halfway through this book. Like literally probably right here at least twice. Yeah, twice. Tried to read this twice and only got halfway both times. And I do eventually really want to read this. I want to be able to finish it because the last time I tried to read it was like 2022, so that was before I like started reading every single day and before like most of these books even existed in my library. So I just feel like now that I read so much, I feel like I could definitely accomplish getting through this book. Especially I just read The Stand and I read 11/22/63 as well, so I could definitely do it, but I wanted to include it in this because technically I've read 50% of it. So with that being said, that is the end of our little Summerween reading vlog. And if you want to see like my full like Summerween day in my life where I actually like went full fall mode for a whole day, that video is up on my vlog channel right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was so much fun. Now I just want it to be fall and I want to read horror books and more Stephen King books. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys so soon. Bye guys.